Matthew Stafford has been traded to the Rams for 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick in exchange for Jared Goff. But was this the right move for the Rams to make, or are they making a big mistake? Hi, let's eat.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Edwin, aka King Jalof, and we are back again. Guys, some news coming out in the recent hours, recent days about Matthew Stafford going to the Los Angeles Rams, and all I gotta ask is why? Why? See, this is one of the more mind-boggling moves that I have seen so far this offseason. Matthew Stafford going to the Rams, Jared Goff going to the Detroit Lions. Now, we'll start with Matthew Stafford because he is, to me, the most important player in this trade deal. Now, the Rams send 2 first-round picks. Why in the world would you send 2 first-round picks for Matthew Stafford? Now, believe me, I would be the first to say that Matthew Stafford, for me, is a good QB. And I do think that he has a lot to give in the tank. Now, he's not a bum, he's not a scrub. He can still produce in this league at a high level. But he's 33 years old. He's expected to make around $27 million. And on top of that, he's pretty much a shell of his former self. And if you look at the career numbers, even if you look back to last year's numbers, right? Last year's season numbers, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, kind of producing the same amount of numbers, similar, not really the same, but it's kind of similar in that aspect of completions, touchdowns, interceptions. They're both kind of in the same ballpark. So it's not like you're getting a massive upgrade over Jared Goff by trading for Matthew Stafford. But I kind of get the move because the Rams feel as though they are 1 QB away from reaching the Super Bowl, and that means that they have the best defense in the league, the number 1 rated defense in the league. That's a fact. Last season they were that team. That's 1. 2, on offense they have a good supporting cast of wide receivers. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, all very consistent in that area. Also have Cam Akers as well too. The running game is solid. So if you look at how things are going, you would say, Jared Goff, even though to me, and I have advocated in the past of him being a good QB, he isn't really all that special. But, they feel as though that Matthew Stafford is a better option, and that's why they traded 2 first-round picks for Stafford. Now, even though this was a good deal in the sense that they are upgrading over Jared Goff, I still think it's a bad deal because of the fact that, listen, like I said before, Stafford is old. He's 33 years old, and obviously you can still play at that age if you're a QB. But let's face it, the Rams traded a lot to get this guy. So you first off trade for Jalen Ramsey 2 first-round picks, right? That's first off. And now you trade 2 more first-round picks for Matthew Stafford and a third-round pick, 2 on top of that. So now it's like, where will the draft capital come in the future? Where are you going to build in the draft in the next couple of years? It's not going to happen because they pretty much traded away their best assets for the next couple of years in the draft. And if you ask me, that's a terrible move to do because I am, for one, a big advocate for building through the draft. The draft is, to me, the most important part of the offseason because you get to coach these players and build a kind of nucleus for your team as opposed to getting players from free agency who come in and play for these deals. Obviously, it's still a good route to go through, but I do think that the Rams aren't really that good in free agency as it is right now with the money that they owe some of their players. And now on top of that, you don't have any draft capital. So right now, for the Los Angeles Rams, this is a boom or bust motive. Super Bowl or bust. Listen, and I do think that they are good enough in the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl because, like I said before, that number 1 rated defense is no joke. They have a good supporting cast on offense. They really are a good QB away, and I say good, maybe great QB away from making it to the Super Bowl. Like last season, they got out to the first round. I mean, not the first round. They beat their division rivals, the Seattle Seahawks, in the first round, went to Seattle and scrapped them. That was surprising. And then they lost to the Green Bay Packers, obviously the best team in the NFC at the time, supposedly, until they got bounced out by the Buccaneers. But anyways, point is that defense was kind of shaky in that game, but nevertheless still a great defense, and I expected to keep that same energy for next season. But you know, that offense, that QB is important. And I guess Jared Goff was not the ish. He wasn't the ish to lead them to what they needed to be, because obviously Jared Goff got them to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, in which they lost to the Patriots. And you can make a case that he played a tough defense and really couldn't get much going against the Patriots. But you could also make a case as well too that Jared Goff didn't do enough to help the Rams win that Super Bowl. So it's kind of 50-50, but I still do think that Matthew Stafford is an upgrade over Jared Goff, yet it was still a lot to give up for him. Like 2 first-round picks, I don't really agree with that fact of doing that. I mean, listen, now we have Deshaun Watson, who's about to get traded possibly to any other team. I'm not even sure about the Jets anymore, because if Matthew Stafford could go for 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, I've been hearing this around for so long. Even one of my boys just said it before. Like, if you can go for that much, they're going to at least want 4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, the minimum. So, listen, man, that's a crazy deal. I don't understand what the GM for the Los Angeles Rams is doing at the moment, because in no way in hell should you give up first-round picks for Matthew Stafford. At this day and age, like, I think that the most he's worth is a second-round pick, maybe 2 second-round picks, if that, right? 2 first-round picks and a third? That is high draft capital that you're essentially giving away, and you're pretty much investing in him for the future. And he's set to make around $27 million for the upcoming season. So it's obvious that even regardless of his contract situation, they really like Stafford and they really think that he can do the job, which I do think that he can as well too. But I mean, still, the deal itself is just too much for me. Now we move over to Jared Goff going to Detroit, Michigan. I kind of feel bad for Jared Goff, because listen, man, you're moving from the luxurious, and no disrespect to Detroit, right? But I don't think that it's anything like Los Angeles. And I think that Jared Goff would definitely agree with that fact, because you're moving from Los Angeles, sun, beautiful palm trees, everything, to Detroit, cold, you know, different kind of scenery, and a different team at that too. So this is bad, man. This is bad. So for the Lions themselves, okay, so you get 2 first-round draft picks. That's good. You get a third-round draft pick. That is also good as well too. I will agree that they are the winners for the deal, because the draft capital. And here's the thing. So you get 2 first-round picks. That's fine. But to trade for Jared Goff, I don't understand exactly where that would go, because Jared Goff is expected to make around $33 million for the upcoming season. And, you know, he's going to pretty much be here for the next couple of years. So it's obvious that you're trying to put your future for the next couple of years into Jared Goff, because his contract is massive. So you really can't, unless you find a way to ship him off, maybe cut him. That's going to be a lot of cap money, a lot of dead cap money that's going to hit your team. I'm not sure how this deal really works with them not playing Jared Goff, because Jared Goff, even though I do think that Jared Goff is a serviceable QB, I think he's better than what people say he is. Don't forget that he was a Pro Bowler 2 years in a row, and he just had a couple of bad seasons after that. 2 bad seasons, kind of regressed in the aspect of completions. Well, last year he had a career high in completion percentage last year, but I mean, the yards decreased, the touchdowns decreased, interceptions kind of stayed the same, but increased a little bit. But obviously, I do think that Jared Goff isn't the type of guy that can really elevate the play of others. Like, he needed a good supporting cast, good players around him for them to be a good team in Los Angeles. He's going to a bad defense, the worst defense in the league, and the Detroit Lions compared to the best defense in the league in the Rams. That's terrible. Like, Detroit Lions were last in the league last season, guys, in total defense. Now, on offense, you could say that, okay, they have Kenny Golladay, but he's a free agent this year, so Is he really going to stay? You never know. On top of that, you have DeAndre Swift on offense. You also have T.J. Hockenson, who I believe is one of the more promising tight ends upcoming in the league so far. But other than that, you don't really have too much talent on offense. And the defense, obviously, I just mentioned that they were the worst defense last season, even though they have some pieces here and there. But listen, it's going to be a mess for Jared Goff. I feel bad for the guy because, listen, man, if you're going from a playoff team to one of the worst teams in the NFL, that's a big downgrade at that. And that's a big move from, your family going from Los Angeles to Detroit. So it'll be fun to see, but I don't understand exactly why the Detroit Lions made this move because, I think that the draft for this year is loaded with QBs, like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. So they could potentially fall in love with one of these QBs and draft and go from there. They could possibly use one of these two first-round draft picks to trade up and get a QB. You never know. But you also have Jared Goff, on the team and his massive contract. So what will you do with him? I don't know, because I don't think you can bench the guy. If you decide to bench the guy, then it's gonna be a lot of money just wasting on that bench. So it's gonna be tough for the Lions, man. I don't know what both these teams are doing, but I will say that the Lions did win the trade because 2 first-round picks for Matthew Stafford. That is a great deal to get back, and a 3rd-round pick too to get back in return. That is a huge, massive deal. The Lions are the winners for today's trade, but let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Who won the trade? Was it the Los Angeles Rams trading for Matthew Stafford, or was it the Detroit Lions trading for Jared Goff and the 2 first-round picks and the 3rd-round pick? Oh my goodness, man. I do think that if the Los Angeles Rams don't get to the Super Bowl in the next couple of seasons, terrible move. Fire the GM if that happens too. Because if it does work out and they do get to the Super Bowl and win, then it's a genius move at that. But if they don't, it's not working out too well. But guys, anyways, that's all that we have for this video. Listen, like I said before, the Lions are the winners for this trade, even though I do think that Matthew Stafford is an upgrade over Jared Goff, but the ransom to get Matthew Stafford was a little bit too much for my liking. Anyways, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video and to the channel, and always remember, as I grow, we grow together. Stay tuned for the next video. Boop.